Check. I think this thing is working. Hey, shout out to Burrito Express. Burrito Express hooked me up with the dope hoodie. Also a sponsor of Flight Club, which is coming back. The information has been sent to all the coaches that have requested it, and it looks like Flight Club will be full. Girls Flight Club information going out soon. I've talked to a lot of the girls coaches. They seem excited about it, and I'm super hyped. And we are just locking down the location. Flight Club is going to grow, and there's going to be some new things going on, which I will get into future shows. But since we are talking about sevens, I do want to show some love. We had a cool thing go on this past weekend. Battle Nationals took place. The national champions of 7-on-7s, and they are some Arizona boys mostly. Tucson Turf Elite took home the national championship for 7-on-7s. Battles National Championship. I think it was a 10-team event. Super elite, super exclusive, and man, you can see a lot of these Arizona boys in here. My guy Kendrick Bourget. You can see Talon Scott, Gabriel Christian Diaz from Basha, Jake Rogers from Basha. A lot of Basha boys in there. And there's a whole bunch of our guys that were balling and doing their thing, coached by, I believe, Coben Bourget. Actually, I know it's Coben Bourget, the former ASU South Point Marana athlete. And yeah, so super exciting times in the sevens world for Arizona. And also, I want to show some love to the Dolphins, another Arizona team that was invited to the elite event. Heard that they were cooking day two, kind of trying to get their feet under them day one. But Sawyer Hales and company tried to make things work, tried to get things rolling. Day two, started making their move. Ended up playing Tucson Turf, I believe. I'm not sure about this, but I believe that was in the Final Four. And Tucson Turf survived that game. Went down to the wire, from what I was told. And Tucson Turf survived that game, moved on, and ended up winning the national championship in blowout fashion. So super excited for those guys. They earned everything, and I see like Sean Roebuck out there. Yeah, so yeah, I believe that's Sean, because that's not Dez. That would be crazy if they suited Dez back up, but I don't think so. And this team was super loaded all year. Nikhil Lambeth from Desert Edge, Tank Maloney, Dennis Tuione, I believe that's how it's pronounced, a kid from Utah, Brandon Nash from Bosco, the Coach brothers from Bosco. They had actual linebackers playing that linebacker position, which was cool to see. I know Jaylee Abraham was on that team, and there's a whole bunch of them in the pictures. So these are all the guys that obviously were there. So just super proud of them and all their accomplishments. And for I know that there was like a $30,000 or $20,000 prize. You had to meet some certain requirements or whatever, if you will. I think you had to win every game by like 10 points and whatever else. And I believe that's the kicker that got Tucson Turf. Tucson Turf did not win the grand prize money because that game with the Dolphins was so close. So the Dolphins, kind of did their part to do their thing. So shout out to Coach Barra and his guys and Coach Jay over there. I got to watch them a little bit this year too. So there's that. I do got my guy Adam Beetle coming with his Beetlejuice segment, talking about a couple other guys that he saw this spring, high school guys that he saw this spring that were absolutely cooking. And I know that he is on a tight schedule, so I'm going to get to him first, and then I'm going to bring on the one and only Gridiron Arizona when Gridiron lets me know that he's available. But I fully anticipate Gridiron will be here shortly. Actually, I should probably text him real quick. Also, there is a Suns game, so I don't want to take up too much time, because I do know that we are all eagerly trying to see if the Suns are gonna get this dub and be able to make it to the actual playoffs. So your boy Chili taking a lot of heat right now from Cam Cox and Adam Beadle and every basketball knower out there that knew that the Suns were going to be a quote unquote playoff team and win more than 30 something games. And the Suns have done great. I've been to a couple games, enjoyed watching Book do his thing. I really like Dylan Brooks. Love what I'm seeing from Allen and some of these other guys. There's that. But without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guy, Adam Beadle, as we jump into this Beetlejuice segment and talk about a whole bunch of these kids that are balling this spring in camps before the Super Showcases really launch and we get to see a whole bunch of other kids. So without further ado, another great transition from my guys over there at BJ Media, who's been taking care of his boys since I think the beginning of the year. So coming up next, I got the Beetlejuice segment with the voice of Flight Club. If you know, you know. Adam Beadle coming up. Hang out with your boy. About 30 seconds. Y'all know.
Got everything. I got everything. That's all me. No help. That's all me.
And we back. What did I ever do to deserve 2 weeks in a row of Adam Beadle?
Let's go. Let's
go. Breaking news.
First of all, where'd you get that jacket, man? I love that jacket.
Hey, this is like a one of one like prototype thing.
Oh, shoot.
With the official. I got the badge. Listen,
Ooh.
I'm Nike.
You look official. You look official.
Hey, I'm trying to get a burrito named after me, a chili burrito, a chili cheese burrito. Hey, you know what it is. Hey, burrito. That would be crazy.
That would be kind of tough.
Hey, not as crazy as some of these bowlers. You put together this list a couple weeks ago. We just haven't been able to get to it. Your boy been traveling a little bit. Beadle been busy, and I know you got a cool project coming up, which we'll get to a little bit later before I let you go. But let's jump right into this thing because I know we're all trying to see some of this stuff that's going on tonight. One of those things being your son's getting loose and Colin Gillespie. Is he going to go crazy tonight?
We'll see.
We'll find out. This Beetlejuice list, we got over here 2029 Chaparral quarterback Ryan Trokey, super talented quarterback that I got to watch play freshman ball and varsity ball this year. I know you got to see him play varsity ball because we were at the same game. 2027 ALA Gilbert North quarterback Ben Livingston, who I got to see out at camp earlier, and then again, I've seen him twice this offseason. 2028 Red Mountain quarterback Dane Silver, who's been putting on a show in sevens, leading that Valley's finest group, and then coming to camp and absolutely competing and shredding defensive backs. 2027 Mesa wide receiver Kingston Anatema, who is one of my favorite 2027 receivers in the class, in the country. I absolutely love his abilities. And 2027 Basha defensive back Jeremiah Grimes, who absolutely cooked at the Under Armour camp combine weekend, making it from the combine portion to the invite-only camp portion. And I'm going to let you get into the details of that. I'll let you start wherever you want to start, but I love this list that you put together, Adam. Good job.
Yeah, well, let's start with the young buck, 2029 Chaparral quarterback Ryan Trokey. Great size, I think, for a freshman. Got his first offer from Oklahoma State this past spring. I guess spring's still going. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a couple more offers once they start to get into practice. This is a guy I'm really looking forward to watching, really looking forward to see him grow. You mentioned, we got to see him play against Cactus Shadows last year, and I was really impressed with what I saw. I got to say, I spent a little bit of time watching his film today, and there's a game in particular they played against Horizon, and I was just incredibly impressed with the way he anticipates his throws and where to place the ball. I think that's something that takes a while for young quarterbacks to develop, just from an IQ perspective of, getting into a rhythm with your wide receivers, but he just makes it look so effortless. And I think that's the thing that sticks out about his game early on, and what enables him. I think that he's going to have a really bright future is his already, abilities to take on some of the challenges that comes with the quarterback position at such a young age. So really excited to see the kind of quarterback he develops into, and I think his arm strength is only going to get a lot stronger as well.
And he had a chance, to win that game, and competing against Donovan Dixon and Cactus Shadows, that hungry team, that Cactus Shadows that Coach Dixon had. Listen, man, testament to Ryan and his abilities, and Coach Carroll. He absolutely loves and raves about this guy. So he's going to be special and fun to watch for the next few years. Adam, go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a while, I feel like, since we've talked about, some very, very potentially star-studded players out of Chaparral. So it feels good to be talking about Chaparral in that way again. Another quarterback we got going to be a senior this season, Ben Livingston. Ben was a huge reason why ALA Gilbert North had so much success last season. The kid has a cannon for an arm. He threw for 40 touchdowns last year, almost 3,000 yards, only 5 interceptions. There's a reason why ALA Queen Creek is going to be a contender in 5A again this year, and he absolutely plays a big role in that. A great decision maker. I love the fact that he can make things happen on the ground too if he needs to. It's not necessarily his first decision, but love his pocket awareness and being able to scramble, making plays on the ground happen. I think no doubt he's going to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in 5A next season.
For sure. I definitely agree with you on that. And I got to watch him work at Elite 11 in California. And he was definitely one of the alphas in that middle group that they had, and really showcase his ability to throw that deep ball in the one-on-one portion. Clean throwing motion. I like him a lot, man. And I agree. And that relationship that he's built with Massey, I think that's going to be a tough duo over there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be one of the top duos in 5A next season. Absolutely. All right, let's talk about Dane Silver. I mean, this is a kid I think has really improved his game drastically over the last couple of months, and that's, I think, part of that's getting to work with Kyle Enders, but also getting to work with Trey Anderson as well. And just seeing the development of his game and the kind of quarterback he's growing into. I really can't wait to see him play at Red Mountain once he becomes eligible. I think, Red Mountain, I said last week, I think they really have a chance to go far once he's eligible week 6, starts getting into that system. I've loved seeing some of the stuff he's been able to do this spring, playing with the Valley's Finest program. I think that's what it's called. Being able to play with that program, and the connection he's already growing with a couple of those players over at Red Mountain. So just really excited for him and his future, especially, given what happened after his freshman year, and having to, sit almost that full year, and then coming back last year and really having as best of a bounce back year that you can have, and getting back into it. And now he's going to be in a different system, learning a new playbook. Will be very interesting to see the challenges that brings, but I think the rewards of being able to accomplish that. And I think it's going to be great for him. I think it'll be great for him sitting those first 5 games just to get adjusted, see how things flow offensively, learning the playbook throughout the spring as well. I'm really excited for his development, and really excited for some of the things he's going to do next season in the spring as well.
Yeah, man. I think that this is another combo that we're going to be looking forward to with him, and I believe it's Weaver, the kid that transferred from the Northwest. Man, this Red Mountain team is going to be explosive the second that Dane's allowed to play, and I know that Coach Enders is going to take advantage of his abilities and stuff. So I can't wait. I'm with you on that one, and I've had the chance to see him compete in camps, sevens. He's competed at Flight Club and really done his part over the years. He's going to be special, and we get 2 more years with him. I know we lose the first 5 this year, but I think, as long as he does the right thing and takes advantage and is able to break down the film and adjust to the speed and use that time wisely, I think that he's going to be okay on that back 5 and then in the playoffs. So Dane Silver is going to be an incredible watch this year. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Take it away,
Absolutely. And I know if he stays healthy and stays in the right check, his senior year is going to be one heck of a fun year to watch. Talking about these 2 last guys, rising seniors, Kingston and Atima, you talked about how much you love him as a wide receiver, but let's not forget this kid can play both ways if he needs to. 2-way playmaker. He won the wide receiver MVP at the Under Armour camp. He's got great hands. He's picked up a couple of Division I offers this past offseason. I'm really excited to see how Coach Felker uses him on offense next year, but honestly, not just on offense, on both sides of the ball too. I think he is going to be a serious weapon, serious two-way weapon next year in state, and will cause some noise in 6A for sure.
No, for sure, and don't forget his quarterback over there, Boogie, his brother over there. I think that talk about big 1-2 punches, big combos, quarterback
A
receiver.
lot of combos today. Talking about all the combos.
I mean, it's tough. We got quarterbacks and wide receivers mostly on this list, and so it's tough to not bring up a wide receiver that they might have, or a quarterback that obviously Kingston has. I just think that they're going to be ridiculous, and I know that Coach Felker is going to fully take advantage of Kingston's abilities on both sides of the ball and try to put him in that conversation of and with who I think is the best two-way player in the state, Jai Jones. So I know that Felker really wants to make sure that Kingston is in that conversation with him, and listen, he just might be. I've just for now have been pushing the Jai Jones.
Mesa and Chandler don't play each other this season, do they?
No, but it would be fun to watch them work against
seeing
each
them
other.
go both ways. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Maybe
that would be cinema.
Maybe Flight Club. We'll see.
Definitely.
Anyways, moving on to the last guy, Jeremiah Grimes out of Basha. I think Basha, they have so many great players, but I think they always end up with a few who go severely underlooked. I think Trey Knox is one of those guys. You could even say Josh Gain maybe is one of those guys. Easily. I think Jeremiah is another one of those guys, 100%. So much raw athleticism, so much passion for the game. I mean, you talk about this was a kid who wasn't even invited to the showcase on Sunday. He ran a 4.4 on Saturday, got the invite on Sunday, then came out and competed his butt off and earned the defensive back MVP on Sunday. So talk a kid who purely works hard, loves the game, is out for the team and not for him. I mean, he is the definition of that. I'm very excited to see some of the stuff he does in the fall come these next few months.
Hey, no, he's going to be special, and he's going to be a huge part of that defense over there for Coach Jones at Basha. And I think that Jeremiah is going to be one of those guys that steps up and makes all those plays on defense to get his guys the ball back, and so that way we can watch Jake Rogers orchestrate that offense to perfection and make it rain touchdowns. So Jeremiah Grimes was absolutely spectacular that weekend. Everybody was raving about him. Huffman and Gulo, Biggins, you, me, this person's mom, that person's dad, this kid on the field. And so, wide receivers weren't trying to line up on him. And, so I'm impressed. Beetle, what else you got as we head out of the camp portion of all this and start making our way to the showcases? Like, what are some things that you are looking forward to?
I'm honestly just looking forward to getting back out on the gridiron again, man. I'm excited to watch all these teams. I think this is a year where we're really going to see a lot of young talent be identified for the first time. Guys like Jaden Jamerson over at Basha, Ryan Trokey, of course, over at Chaparral. I mean, there are so many young guys I think we could talk about that are really going to flash this spring and really give us a good idea, because I think, we had such a loaded year last year. The class of 2026 walked away with so many kids that ended up going to the Division I level. And that's really just attributing to the continued growth of Arizona high school football that we've seen really in particular over the last couple of years. It's been really fun to watch. I've really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to getting back out in the field. We've got a lot of new head coaches. We've got a lot of head coaches in different places. So getting to catch up with them, seeing the spots that they're at now, how they're adjusting to things. It's truly going to be an exciting spring and an interesting one, because I think there are so many different storylines heading into this spring than there were last spring.
Hey, real quick before I let you go, there's a couple things before I let you go. One of those things is Major Perry, Coach Perry, taking over Champion Circle, Cesar Chavez. Not sure what the name is. High school.
I think Champion Circle or Circle Champions, because they wanted to keep the CCHS for whatever reason.
I heard that they wanted to keep the CCHS for the graduating class so that they wouldn't have to whatever they don't have to do. So anyways, there's that. Your thoughts. Freshman coach getting to take
Yeah.
over the varsity level, and he's got some familiarity with those kids. I'm just curious what your thoughts are on this because I know
I think
that
it was
you are.
I think it was great for Cesar Chavez to stay internal with this hire and get someone who already has a connection with these kids. They don't have to go, a whole thing of building the relationships. The guys that are going to be stepping up this season are guys that played freshman ball for him. So I think he's going to be set up for success. He does have one heck of a schedule to go through. I will say that there will be a lot of challenges that come this season. But I'm looking forward to seeing how Cesar Chavez competes and how his team does this season amongst some of the other top teams in the state.
I know he's so excited. And then obviously some other news that you broke once or twice, or I can't remember how many times, but Ortiz was at Higley as the running back coach. He was going to serve as a running back coach over there. And then Coach Ortiz takes an opportunity over there at Millennium, a little bit elevated. I think it was special teams coordinator.
He's got a couple different
like
roles. He'll be serving as the co-offensive coordinator as well as the quarterbacks coach and special teams coordinator. So doing quite a few things over there at Millennium. The huge driving push behind him taking this job was the opportunity to be able to coach his nephew. I know that had a lot to do with this. That meant a lot to him to be able to have that opportunity. I know he's very appreciative of Coach Early. And I think he's walking in to truly one of the more underrated offenses in 5A next season. I mean, we're talking about a running back in Damani Bryant, and just, I saw him benching 300 today, which I was like, geez, I thought that people thought that kid was a weapon last season. Wait until he gets in the weight room, does some things this spring, and able to get out there on the field. I think Millennium's offense has really exciting potential to be explosive next season, especially with Coach Ortiz helping lead that charge. It's going to be fun.
All right, but listen. And we kind of talked about this last week. Ortiz is a name that should be brought up with every head coaching opportunity that is made available. I know that some vacancies are still out there. I believe Valley Vista, Goodyear. What happens when one of those schools wants to take Coach Ortiz?
From my understanding and the people I've talked to, Coach Ortiz is pretty locked down in this situation and does not plan on taking any of those head coaching opportunities. Should they reach out, or should they reach out? He's very firm in staying with Millennium this season and being able to coach with his nephew. But who knows? Things move every single year. So whether or not this is a long-term thing, whether or not, he could be a head coach again in another year, only time will tell. But I know he's eagerly focused on this Millennium team this season and trying to make a deep playoff run with them.
Man, hey, those teams that passed on Ortiz made a bad mistake. All right, before I let you go, some Suns talk. I am curious your thoughts on how they're going to do. They obviously got their hands full, I guess, kind of with like the Trailblazers tonight. Do you think that the Suns are going to roll through the Blazers and then get an opportunity to try to roll through Wemby and the Spurs, or do you think that the Suns are going to have their hands full with the Blazers, lose this game, and then have to keep?
I don't know. It felt like when the Suns played the Spurs a couple weeks ago, they kind of had their hands full. I don't expect tonight to be an easy game. I still expect them to win. They're up 13-7 right now. I expect them to move on in the next round. I just don't think it's going to be easy.
To the next round. To the next round.
Yeah, to the next round.
Okay.
It's been such a weird kind of last quarter of the season with some of the injuries they've had and just the way they've been having to move minutes. I think Kaman Malawak has stepped up, but he's really going to have to kind of take things super serious in the next, couple of, obviously tonight, and if they continue to advance. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't anticipate they're gonna make a deep playoff run. But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Okay, it's okay. Listen, I didn't even think that they were gonna make the playoffs. So
yeah, you only thought they were gonna win 30 games. So I
changed it to 35. Calm down.
No.
Change it to 35. I changed it to 35. Calm down. I did change it to 35. Anyways, but I think they even exceeded that by
They won 45,
so,
Chili.
Yeah, so by a little bit. So listen, if they would have won 50, then I would have said they exceeded it by a lot. 10 games, and I think it's whatever. All right. Anyways, my guy Beetlejuice, I'm gonna let you get up out of here. I know that you got some something else. I think you're gonna go watch like some lacrosse.
High school
lacrosse world. Yeah.
No, I don't know a ton about high school lacrosse, but one of my buddies is his senior night. He plays for Corona del Sol, so I'm gonna go cheer him on. I know Brophy year after year after year they have a killer team, and I know they're just absolutely torching everybody again this year. So
and Gunnar Perry is one of the best lacrosse players in the state too. Don't forget.
Okay, I didn't know he played lacrosse.
Just want to mention that he's
there. We go.
So was Cooper. Cooper was one of the best players.
I knew Cooper was a legit lacrosse player. I think we've had there have been some top ranked football prospects that have been killer lacrosse guys over the years.
That is true. Jake Smith played lacrosse also.
Yes.
I'm bringing up all these Notre Dame.
What I'm curious about. I don't know how football football and lacrosse, how those two things intercede, because there are
for wide receivers and defensive backs, I think it absolutely does for the football.
There are so many weird things about lacrosse that's like, I feel like at times I'm watching basketball and soccer and football and hockey all at the same time. It's a little wild. Like I'm trying to really learn the game. And it's interesting.
Hey,
it's interesting.
It's a fun sport to watch.
It is fun. It is fun. It's physical. So that's what I love. Dudes just start hitting each other. It's great.
Yeah, no, in that aspect, it's kind of like hockey where you have them cross-checking each other. The girls' game is way different than the boys' game. But anyways, Beetle, I'm gonna let you get up out of here. Next week we're gonna bring back Beetlejuice with another segment on a bunch of other cool things that are going on. Not quite sure what yet, but we'll make sure that he's breaking it down. And you also got something coming up that's very, very cool. Do you want to expand on that at all a little bit? Let people know what they have to look forward to or look out for? Or
I think I'll leave it a surprise. I think I'll leave it a surprise.
Good. Okay. Sounds good. I'm not
all
mad,
right.
But I know you got to fill up the tank. So
I'll
holler at you. Hey, that tank is gonna cost like $65. So just so you know.
Yeah, it's not looking good right now. And you know what's so funny is I'm going to jump out of here because Chris McDonald is calling me right now. So,
hey, could be some more breaking news. All right. I'll holler at you later on, Beetle. Thanks for checking in. And up next, got my guy Gridiron Arizona.
Beetle had the Open Division State Champ coach calling.
Yeah, you know what that means. That means that somebody's just enrolled. Could be a big fella too. Not sure, but
like they need another out-of-state transfer.
Sheesh, dang, just putting them out there like that. But yeah, listen, I don't know. They're not the only school getting out-of-state transfers, so I will say that.
You guys mentioned Red Mountain.
They got themselves one. They got themselves a nice little playmaker over there. Desert Edge got themselves a nice little playmaker over there.
Yep.
There's a couple schools that have gotten a handful of kids that are going to make an impact, and I'm excited. I'm always excited to see these schools get these opportunities with these kids to mold and shape them and take advantage, and hopefully take them to the next level. So. Gridiron, your son's thoughts before we get into the Inside the Numbers segment.
Portland's a big team. Portland's a team that can rebound well, so that's going to be the key for tonight, is to control the game down in the post. And right now, as Beetle mentioned, they're off to a good start. They're leading 20-16 right now, midway through the first quarter. So they're scoring quite a few points already, so that's good. And everybody on the Suns was healthy tonight except for Grayson Allen. He's the only one out.
Oh, he's like one of my favorite players. Hey, one thing, jumping off the Suns real quick, one thing that I did want to ask is your thoughts on the Arizona Cardinals and their number 3 pick and what they should do with it. I'm still on that heavy. I think that it should be running back. I think you got to go running back. We talked a little bit about it last week.
I'm on the trade down now. because I don't think there's one particular player that you can pick at number 3 that's going to make a difference with the way this team is right now. And I don't think just getting a running back is the answer because they don't have the offensive line for it. I'd like to see him trade down with Dallas, who has the 12 and the 20, and you get 2 players with that, one of them a lineman.
And then
The
what do you want to do
Cowboys
with the other pick?
want to move up.
And then what do you want to do with the other pick?
People have mentioned the possibility of Ty Simpson at 20.
Not related to our guy Alex Simpson, but
not related to Alex Simpson.
A super talented quarterback nonetheless. I think that I like Ty. I like the highlight film that he put out. I think it was him that put it out that I got to watch. I think that he's a super talented prospect, and
but playing in the NFC West, they are not a piece away. they need a lot of pieces.
I know, but I just think that you have the opportunity to take somebody like Love. You take him now, and you build around him through free agency.
How are you going to build around him if you don't have
whatever?
What are you going to build around him with? The 2nd and 3rd round picks?
Anything. Just you got to find good sleepers, not just sleepers that keep sleeping. Like you got to find like diamonds in the rough, actual diamonds. You got to look for actual diamonds.
So you're telling me there's guys that they could draft late who are going to be impact starters that will on the offensive line so that you can utilize Love, who you're only going to use part-time because you've already got Connor on the roster.
Well, listen, let Connor take some of that beating, share some of that workload, obviously, and then let Love break in. I just don't want to see Love get drafted 4 or 5 and be a guy that goes off, and then again be like, dang, that could have been the Cardinals. That could have been for the Cardinals, and
right, it could be Bijan all over again, like we talked about last week.
Yeah, and I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them trade back and do that weird thing like they did a billion years ago with that wide receiver and I think that defensive lineman, Bryant Johnson and.
Oh, you're going way back. Okay.
Yeah, like I just don't want to see that where they're like.
That's the risk in moving back is they don't have a lot of recent draft success. So giving him 2 shots in the first round, that might not. They could go for 2 again. So
Listen, if they draft Love and go and it doesn't work out, I don't know, man. I just think that's
if you're gonna draft someone number 3, it's got to work out.
Yeah, you say that, but it's not a guarantee for any player.
No, of course not. I mean, you can probably pull up the draft from 5 years ago and look at the top 10 picks, and probably only 5, maybe 6 of them were worth the top 10 pick. Any draft. Look at it 5 years later. That's the success rate. Even on the high picks, it's 50 to 60%.
It's tough, man. I just think that when you have that number 3 pick or that number 2 pick or especially that number 1 pick,
well,
you got to try.
If there was a guy right there, that you feel would make that big difference, then yeah, you jump on it. But I don't know that running back is a need on this team right now.
We should have traded back instead of drafting Murray. But I mean that's a whole nother conversation. That is a whole nother conversation. On that note, Gridiron, we are going to get to the Inside the Numbers segment, and we got to.
Oh, by the way, just one backup there on Chandler and Mesa. They do not play one another this season in the regular season.
Yeah. But we are following up with our spring ballers, our AZ bred spring ballers at the colleges, at the universities here in town.
And we have enough names on there. We didn't even have to put a Wildcat logo in there.
Oh, sheesh. Wow. Wow. We put U of A. Wasn't that enough?
I know.
I mean, and we did it in their signature purple or whatever that is.
It's red and blue, which when you combine them does make purple. If you're sitting really high up in the stands, I guess it could look purple.
Our guy K Visuals couldn't find the red. I don't know. Anyways, Hey, this is a super talented group. This is a way more talented group than I was originally giving them credit for. And this is a short list because their list is actually ridiculously long. They probably
There's
have
more,
about like 20. Yeah, they actually have about 26 players from the state of Arizona. I want to say like maybe 20, but like
because they don't have they don't really have walk-ons anymore. So
no, they don't. But I'll get into some of those after you go inside the numbers on these guys. But I'm just going to run through some of these names.
Yep.
Trey Spivey from Hamilton, the super talented wide receiver that we all fell in love with, super lengthy. Gio Richardson, the receiver from Basha, who was such an impact player for them. Brandon Phelps, arguably the GOAT of receivers who held a ton of records. I know you're going to talk about that from ALA Gilbert North and why he helped them climb up to the top. Alex Deuce from Mountain Ridge, offensive lineman, a couple more offensive linemen over here, Jake Griffin, Jackson Griffin, Grayson Stovall from Hamilton by way of Colorado, also runs the big man competition at Flight Club. Matthew Lotto, who helped the resurgence over there at Apollo. And then Trey Smith, defensive lineman, Tay Brown, also from Hamilton, a linebacker, and Drew Nicholson, a long snapper over there. These guys are all probably going to compete for big minutes over there, big playing time. So, Gridiron, without further ado, I'm going to let you get into this list, really dissect this and do your thing. And I am going to find some of those other names.
You're kind of heavy with the wide receivers and the offensive line from a position group standpoint. These are guys that went to high school in the state that are now at U of A. Whether they went directly to U of A or whether they went to another school and either moved up or moved down moved up or moved laterally to U of A, since they are a Power 4 program. Trey Spivey from Hamilton, wide receiver, 6'4", 215, a redshirt junior, wide receiver from Hamilton. He last season at Arizona had 23 catches, 381 yards, 7 touchdowns, had a 70-yard touchdown reception against Houston. The year before that, he was at Kansas State, which is where he went when he left Hamilton. Did play in 12 games in 24 and had redshirted in 23. So has 2 years of eligibility still remaining with U of A. At Hamilton, he was ranked the number 70 in the nation at wide receiver by 24/7 Sports. His last 2 seasons with the Huskies had 984 total yards, 15 touchdowns, and 65 catches. And Trey is a 3-sport athlete.
Man, he was an absolute stud. I remember watching him, and he was part of that legendary, I believe it was 2023.
22. He would have been, because his last year at Hamilton would have been the 22 season.
Was it 22? I thought he graduated with Brock Chalowski.
And by the way, the Cesar Chavez website still says Cesar Chavez on it. So they haven't fully embraced that champion circle name where they would put it on the website.
But Trey was part of that legendary freshman team.
Let me look at Hamilton here. Hamilton, the 22 team. Let's see which one this was. The 22 team.
That was Nico Marchios.
The 22 team defeated Chandler last game of the season. Went to the Open. Played Saguaro in the first round there.
And that was Nico Marchiol's team, right?
I know Nico was the quarterback the year before that, because that was 21 was the year they beat Gorman, and I know that was Nico.
Right. No. What I'm saying is Trey Spivey was part of that legendary. Trey Spivey graduated.
He was the 21 team, which had Nico. So yes.
Right, but he graduated class of 23, right? Trey.
Class of 23. Yeah. So 22 was his last season with the Huskies.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so we're kind of saying the same thing. But Trey Spivey's freshman team.
You did say 23. You mean class of 23? Yeah.
Yeah, Trey Spivey's freshman team over there was that legendary freshman team that scored 500 points and only gave up 3 touchdowns all season. So I just wanted to show him love for that and give him some credit. So give him some juice for that. So
that would have been that would have been 22, 20. That would have been the 2019 season.
Yeah,
would have been his freshman year then.
Ran through everybody. So continue. I'll let you take it away. Keep going.
All right, we got Gio Richardson from Basha, 5'10", 175-pound sophomore wide receiver. Last year at Arizona, played in 12 games as a true freshman. Had 21 catches, 299 yards, and 2 touchdowns. During his time at Basha, was a 3-star receiver. He committed in July before his senior year. Played 3 years on varsity for the Bears. Really two full seasons and then a handful of games as a sophomore. But had 1,880 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 114 catches. His senior year had an 89-yard touchdown reception against Hamilton. And his junior year had a 99-yard kickoff return against Mountain View.
Man, that kid was so special watching him go, and he could move. He could absolutely move. So shout out to Gio, and I know that he's probably gonna. Man, the whole wide receiving core for U of A, that man, they could all be Arizona boys.
That's what I'm getting at. It was really deep in wide receiver, and I know in offensive line they had some holes to fill this year. So we'll talk about a few of them in a minute. But first, we got to talk about Brandon Phelps from ALA Gilbert North, 6'3", 200-pound redshirt sophomore wide receiver. Last season, played in 9 games, had 6 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. Redshirted in 24, had committed and went to U of A. Committed after his junior season at ALA Gilbert North. That was a junior year where he had 28 touchdown catches. Was a 3-star receiver. In his varsity career, which was a 4-year varsity career, had 282 catches for 4,971 yards, which is the state record, and 61 touchdown receptions, which is also the state record.
And he was like the Triple Crown, whatever.
He had 2 receptions
until
Des Roebuck beat it.
Yeah, so shout out to Brandon Phelps and all his accomplishments. Yep. Phenomenal ball player. Loved watching him go.
On the offensive line, Alex Deuced from Mountain Ridge, 6'7", 340-pound redshirt junior. As we said, offensive lineman from Mountain Ridge. He started his college career at Northwestern in 23. Didn't play any games there. Then he went to Arizona, had 9 starts, 12 games, 634 snaps, and only allowed 3 sacks out of that whole season in 24. Was a freshman All-American from Pro Football Focus. Last season played in 13 games. I don't have all the snaps and stats allowed on that one. I couldn't find that one. But at Mountain Ridge, he played 4 years on varsity, was a first-team All-State his senior year, and 24/7 ranked him the number 18 overall recruit in Arizona, regardless of position.
He was a stud. He was an absolute stud. He played on that Mountain Ridge team with like Brendan Anderson and all those guys, Terrence Hall, and help restore the Ridge, as Coach Madosky put it. So I think they did a good job.
Yeah, that would have been the 22 would have been his senior season, and that was the year that his junior year at Mountain Ridge was the year that they made the playoffs and won a playoff game. And that playoff win that they had over Mountain View that year was the first time that Mountain Ridge had won a playoff game since 2004. So it was 17 years since they'd won a playoff game, and they went 8-4 that year. Then they returned to the playoffs the next season as well. They haven't been back. We'll just leave it at that. Some more offensive linemen. Jake Griffin from Red Mountain, 6'5", 310, redshirt junior. Offensive lineman from Red Mountain. Transferred to Arizona from BYU in January. He spent 3 years at BYU. He was class of 2020. Took a 2-year mission before starting his college career in Provo. In 25, he played in 11 games. So last season, when he was at Red Mountain, was a 3-star recruit, was second team All 6A as a senior, and he also played defense in high school. Also had 12.5 sacks over his last 2 years with Mountain Lions.
Man, the Jake Griffin was an absolute monster. Was a monster ball player. So listen, he's going to get opportunities at U of A to be the guy, and I think that man, you're gonna have a lot of guys from Arizona up front for Arizona, and a lot of guys making plays for Arizona from Arizona.
And
That's what really
his senior year was the year that that Red Mountain made the 6A championship and then played that overtime game against Liberty.
Oh, shit.
That was his senior year, and Red Mountain went 12-2 that season. Matthew Lotto from Apollo, 6'6", 320, redshirt sophomore, offensive lineman from Apollo, played in 12 games last year for U of A, redshirted his freshman 24 season, so he still has 3 years of eligibility. At Apollo, was a 3-star offensive lineman. He committed the summer before his senior year. Played in 17 varsity games his last 2 seasons with the Hawks, and then also played defense in high school. Also had 3.5 sacks.
Man, Coach Walls and Coach Threadgill over there absolutely raved about Lotto early. And when I was talking to them about Adam Muhammad and
Yep.
Watkins, and they absolutely raved
And that was
about
the
Lotto.
group that they all committed at the same time. And
Yes.
then obviously a couple of them ended up following Fish to Washington. But
Yes.
Lotto stayed in Arizona.
Arizona boy, he he didn't want to leave the Mexican food and the cactus, so he stayed, and he's making the most of the opportunity. So super proud of him, and I think he's going to be all right.
And that was an Apollo team that went 11-2 his senior year with Muhammad, and made it to the 5A semifinals.
Yeah, I think they lost to Higley. Was it Higley that they lost?
Yeah, they lost it at Higley.
Man, I was there for that game too. I thought
I was at that game. Yeah.
That's
Trey
right.
Smith from Red Mountain, defensive lineman, 6'5", 260. He's a 6th-year senior defensive lineman from Red Mountain. Played 3 years at San Jose State. Plus, he had the COVID year of 2020, which is how we still figure in. I think this has got to be the last year of 6th-year seniors.
Yeah.
And he made the All Mountain West first team in 2023. His 3rd year playing for the Spartans, and then he transferred to Arizona in 2024. And then in that 24 season had 53 tackles, 17 solos, 7.5 tackles for loss. And there we are, bear down, Andrew. And then last season had 4 games played. Trey Smith all starts, and then had an injury, so he had a medical red shirt, which is how we get that 6th year. Because I guess you appeal to the NCAA when you have an injury and you can only play a couple games in there, or 4 in this case, and was able to get that 6th year of eligibility. So he'll be a senior this year. And at Red Mountain was a 2nd-team All-State as a senior in 2019. So that same team that we talked about before with Jake Griffin. And he had 89 tackles, 22 tackles for loss, and 18.5 sacks as a senior. Also threw the discus and shot in track and field.
Trey was an absolute beast at Red Mountain. That I do remember. And
that was a huge just breakout year for him that senior year.
And Coach Brennan, shout out to him doing the right thing, bringing Trey along and giving him the opportunity to come back home and
that's moving up. Going from the Mountain West Conference there where San Jose State was to Power 4 there.
Yeah, man. Trey was a monster, and did his thing over at San Jose State, and Coach Brendan thought enough of him to bring him over to U of A, let him climb up, and
followed him over,
and do a little bit more and see what he's made of and see what he's capable of. And I think that this is going to be a great opportunity for Trey to try to play himself into a big time role and hopefully get an opportunity to get another opportunity. So.
Yep. And finally, Tay Brown, linebacker from Hamilton, 6'2", 230-pound senior. As we said, a linebacker from Hamilton. Last season started all 13 games for the Wildcats, was a 3rd-team All Big 12, had 93 tackles, 38 solo, 8.5 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks. The year before that, he started 11 of 12 games for U of A as a sophomore, had 70 tackles, and then in 23, he played in all 13 games at U of A. A lot of special teams there, but certainly has gotten on the field. His college stats, he's played in 38 games and has 168 tackles. At Hamilton, played both linebacker and tight end, had 31 varsity games for the Huskies, had 181 tackles, and 16 sacks in those games, and was a 3-star prospect.
Man, Tay Brown, if I remember correctly, I remember talking to Cody Cameron about him, and this was one of Cody's favorite players on that Hamilton team. He loved his physicality. He loved the way he moved.
Definitely
on
a hitter,
and stuff like that. So yeah, Cody Cameron was a huge fan of Tay Brown. Really put me on to him, and then obviously watching him work, fell in love with him and things like that. But U of A doing the right thing and getting all these Arizona athletes, and I promised you that I would do the digging and find out who else we got out there that wasn't on this list. He made the
Open all 3 years that he played for Hamilton.
Well, yeah, because everybody that was at Hamilton made the Open all their high school career. But in addition to this list right here, Luke Halgo from Higley, another Division I quarterback from Higley, Mason Bray from Saguaro, the super talented quarterback from Saguaro, Anthony Wilhite from South Point Catholic, super talented running back, tight end, a pair of tight ends, Tyler Powell from Brophy College Prep, and Tyler Mustaine from Push Ridge. Moving farther down this list, Malachi Joyner from Williamsfield, an offensive lineman, Keona Pete, an offensive lineman from Corona del Sol, Keatron Harris from AZ Compass Prep. These are all guys I believe that are early enrollees. So I think that's why they're on this list. Like Keatron Harris, because Keatron Harris just played last year for.
But he just signed.
Yeah. What's it called? Christian Madosky, another talented kid from Mountain Ridge, a defensive lineman. Dominic Hanger, a linebacker from Chandler High School, one of my favorite linebackers. Another one of my favorite linebackers, Brandon Craddock from Sandra Day O'Connor, was an absolute tackling machine out there. Jacob Buggy, the super talented athlete playing linebacker from Brophy College Prep. If I'm not mistaken, I think Jacob Buggy played some quarterback his freshman year on Brophy's freshman team. I can't remember if it was Jacob or maybe his brother, but anyways, Kingston Spivey, super talented cornerback from Hamilton, Aiden Miller, a cornerback from Brophy, Dejon Hinton, a safety from Hamilton, and Saguaro. What's it called? Hamisi Juma, safety from Chandler. James Pike, one of my favorite safeties in the state from Brophy College Prep. Loaded with Arizona kids on their roster in some capacity, some way, shape, or form. U of A really trying to make sure that they keep the Arizona in Arizona and doing a great job of it. Shout out to our guy, Andrew Morgan. Let's let him put his bear down, his cactus and his bear and his
back in the state.
Yeah. Kind of taking control of that recruiting department.
Another guy moving up to Arizona.
Couldn't be more proud of him.
Spent some time in Idaho there. Yep.
Yeah, with my guy, Coach Ford. And I remember when he was making that move over there.
Had some playoff success over there at Idaho, too.
And they decided to bring him back. So they felt like something was missing from the recruiting department. And Coach Brendan said, you know what? We got a guy that we can call. And they said, we're going to call Andrew Morgan. And, everything's going to be right again. I love what Arizona is doing in terms of making sure that they get out there to recruit all these Arizona athletes.
Well, they'll be busy starting tomorrow with the beginning of the spring the spring contact period here.
We got a Flight Club belt behind me. This is not Coach Zoo.
You didn't let Higley keep it?
No. Okay. So there have been some changes here. The winner of Flight Club, on the night of Flight Club, they are presented with a championship belt. This belt right here. But after some time passes, it's like about a month or something like that, or 2 months or something like that.
Like the Stanley Cup, you got to return it, huh?
Not return it. We'll say exchange it, if you will. Let me see here. I gotta show you this picture. I haven't really. The only way you've seen this is if you've actually seen this. So I guess I'll kind of.
I know. I've taken pictures of them holding the belt. I just didn't. I never saw the pictures of the return.
Yeah. So it gets swapped out, and man, I cannot. And I can't find it right now. Maybe I'll try to track down a picture, but it gets swapped out, and I give them a custom belt with their logo on the front.
Okay, there you go.
With their logo on the front, so it has a
and there's
JCFC.
no logo on the one behind you, right?
No, this one has the lightning bolt. This
go.
is the traditional, but when I switch it out, instead of the lightning bolt for Basha, it has a huge bear on it. It has their logo bear on it,
Yep.
and then for Marana that won the girls, it has their Marana Tigers. So I think yeah. So man, I can't believe that I can't find. Of course, I can't find it now. Now that I need to. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So it looks like this.
Okay, there we go.
So it looks like this. This is
And right in the middle of the JCFC, you got the logo.
right in the middle,
You
so
had
that
to show us
everybody
the
knows.
Basha one, not the Higley one, but that's okay.
Well, no, okay. So last year was the first year that I did that.
Oh,
Last
okay.
year was
So
the first
Higley
year
does
that I
not
did
have
that.
one with
And
H in the middle.
They do not have a custom one yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So so there's that. But and they have plenty of. I just had to change it up because like the second that Basha won it, I was like, yo, dude, they already have like 2 or 3 belts or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta
you
change
gotta
this up so
distinguish
that.
it.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not sure what they're gonna. I mean, they're probably gonna. I would guess gift the older belts maybe to coaches or something that have paid their dues in the program. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. When Higley wins another one, I'm gonna have to add some new tricks to it to make it different than the other ones. So
Right.
there's that, and then Gridiron Flight Club is back. Flight Club is back, and we got locations for our rising.
We're 2 weeks away from the beginning of spring ball, which will then lead to the month of sevens, which will then finish out at Flight Club.
Yeah, Varsity Flight Club Saturday night is practically full. I want to say there's already been 32 teams committed.
Okay.
Rising Stars 29s and 30s only, close to full. And I'm considering expanding to a 20-team field and doing pools of 5 instead of pools of 4, and that way I'll still have 4 pools. So yeah, so with the Sharks. I mean, will it really? I mean, listen, Flight Club's always a late night, right?
No, I'm talking about the Rising Stars one. You got 20 teams in there.
I mean, maybe I'll manipulate it. I'll manipulate it and make sure that we can get out of there hopefully by like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Know, that way we can all eat a late dinner or whatever. So I want to shout out Burrito Express, Recruit ID, and AALL.net. Papa Hindiosa looking out for his guy. Mesa looking out for his guy, and Angel, my guy over there at Burrito Express, making sure that teams stay fed. So with all that being said, how are the Suns looking right now?
It's a little. They got some rallying to do. They are currently down 52-41. Here's what you need to know.
Whoa!
So far, behind the arc, the Suns are 0 for 6 tonight. Portland is 9 for 21. So there's a 27-point difference right now in 3-pointers. They're holding their own in rebounds. They're right pretty much even with them. But Portland is getting hot from 3 and taking quite a few of them.
Man, well, listen, the Suns, in my experience of watching, they're like a second half team that gets hot late, and they like the comeback. They like the theatrics. They like the dramatics. So. I'm fully expecting guys like Gillespie and Booker and Brooks and everybody else to come through with about 13 minutes left in the game. So like late in the third quarter, really start filling that thing up. And the Suns are going to end up winning by
Booker has 16 points so far.
Okay. Well, he might end up with like 32, 35.
He's going to need 32, 35.
Dang. Come on, Grid.
He might. Jalen Green's given him 12 so far, also. But
listen, we might just have to activate the villain, and
that's what really hasn't really happened yet. Dylan Brooks has taken 2 shots. He's 1 for 2. So,
well, listen, he's just got to turn.
He does have 2 steals.
He's just got to turn that villain on and really make that thing cook. Listen, men lie, women lie. Numbers don't. My guy Gridiron always holding down the Arizona high school football community, because he doesn't really look out for basketball so much, except for the Koa Pete segment that we did a couple weeks ago, which hey, I am really starting to think that I saw Jacob Saliga post something. I am really starting to think that Koa Pete might stay one more year.
I wonder when it is that they have to announce, because I know they have to announce, a good month or so before the draft, which is, of course, the end of June.
I just think, that maybe it does make sense for his development. And I saw somebody else writing about, I cannot remember who it was, writing about the Koa Pete situation.
April 26th. Okay, so we're gonna know one way or the other in 2 weeks. They have to declare April 26th if they're going to be in the draft.
I think Burries is gone, and they just got that point guard from Washington that Koa Pete loves and raves about all the time. So I think that, that's going to help facilitate Koa possibly staying. And you got to think, Koa is from a professional family that understands development. And I'm not trying to dig into everybody's finances, but financially, maybe he doesn't need to just jump into the pros to take that pro money.
Financially, I think he's being pretty well compensated right now, and
with NIL and stuff like that,
which his older brothers weren't.
Right. But his older brothers, I
just meant in the college, Andrews,
his older brother.
In the old days, when college guys weren't getting paid, it was kind of a slam dunk to go.
Well, I think Andrews is doing pretty good with some checks too. So because.
I'm sure Arch Manning was getting paid quite a bit to stay at Texas this coming season. So
yeah, for sure. So yeah. I mean, listen, I think that there might be something to Koa Pete staying and developing and playing.
I'd still be surprised to see it, but I wouldn't
really.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I still want to see ASU eventually. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Anyways, I think I lost Gridiron when I was like ASU and basketball. But hey, listen, Gridiron, I'll catch up with you next week. New topics. We're gonna show some love to. I'm not sure who we're gonna show some love to, but you can count on it being in bulk. And
we've run out of in-state universities now. We've done the trio.
We have. I mean, the way Washington's recruiting the state of Arizona, you could argue that they're an in-state university.
In a couple of years,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Although me and Cam Cox did get to talk to Jeremy Adeyanju, the super.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched that.
And man, that kid is going to be a problem.
Well, he put himself on the map right away with that 214-yard game, the first game of the season.
Yeah, and there's another running back, a class that going into last year, I think everybody was like, it's Noah Roberts and nobody else, has now become like, we got three horses in this race with Jeremy Adeyanju blowing up, and then Keshawn Barkas making his move over there at Westwood, and kind of complimenting.
Well, I mean, they're all Division I Power 4 talents,
for sure. And they're all, I think they're all a little bit different too in the way that they play, and
it might be different this year. I would expect that you're going to see more Noah Roberts than you did last year when it was kind of a shared tandem back there.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that's going to work out now with Gaines moving on, and obviously colleges and all that. So I am curious to see how that works out. But hey, great conversation, Gridiron. I'm gonna let you finish watching the Suns game. And
we're down 12. So here we go.
Okay, well, either you and Beetle and Cam Cox are going to get to fully put me in my place the next time we talk. Or,
well, now wait a minute. They won 45 games. Even if they don't win any games this week, they still won 45.
Hold on. I did say that I wasn't. So Cam brought this up to me softly and said, Chili, they exceeded your win total, but you did say that they weren't going to make the playoffs, and the play-in really isn't the playoffs.
I agree.
So
the play-in is not the playoffs.
I could be half right on this. Not that I want to be. At this point, I just want the Suns to make it and sweep the Spurs.
Yeah, we'd like to be able to talk about the Spurs series next week, or maybe OKC. But
Yeah, when we bring out the
Yeah.
broomsticks versus Wemby or versus Shea or whatever, when we send those guys packing to go home, I want to talk about that stuff. I want that opportunity to discuss Booker's legacy as he knocks off MVP Wemby, or as he knocks off last year's MVP SGA. So there's that. Anyways, Gridiron, I appreciate you so much. I'm gonna catch up with you next week, and I have no idea what the topic is.
I
but,
think
we're gonna find something.
Jokic is the MVP, by the way, but
This year,
not Wemby.
really.
Jokic put up bigger numbers this year than he did last year when he won it.
Yeah, but the alien has done some ridiculous things this year.
He's the defensive player of the year. I'll give him
For sure. That's without
he's probably the
question.
defensive player of the year the next 10 years. But
Oh, Jesus. He's really legit. I'm wondering if he can get France that gold medal though. That's what I'm wondering. We'll see. We'll see. 28 Olympics. All right. Anyways,
in the LA Olympics, wouldn't it?
oh man, that would be crazy. To do it on U.S. soil,
Yeah.
would be insane. That would be insane. All right, Gridiron, I'm gonna catch up with you next week. New topics. I'm not sure who we're gonna be talking about, but it's gonna be somebody, and it's gonna be amazing. Without further ado, I'll catch up with you in 7 days. Hey, want to thank everybody for always showing love, hanging out with their guy. Don't forget, Flight Club coming end of June. Also, me and Cam Cox had the unique opportunity to catch up with NFF Frank Kush award winner Jason Mons, Coach Mons, legendary Saguaro head coach, now tight ends coach over at Arizona State University, coaching on Dillingham staff, obviously. Amazing conversation with him that will be on the 12 Plus app on Thursday. I always am so appreciative of Cam Cox for allowing me to join him for a Dropping Dimes podcast that we created. So without going too much into the conversation about Mons, make sure that you guys watch it, show some love. Last week we talked to one of the top 10 pickleball players in the world, Augie Ge, whose name I totally pronounced wrong. This is why I always tell you guys, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, let me know so I can pronounce it right. I found out it's Augie Ge, not Augie G. Want to show him some love. He just did a thing with Phoenix Children's Hospital, playing in a celebrity pickleball game with like AQ Shipley, Jack Sock, and Matt Hagan, some other pickleball players. AQ Shipley's obviously like a personality and stuff. Super cool dude and a really good pickleball player. I don't know if he's better than Larry Fitzgerald, but he is a very, very good pickleball player. So I will say that. Want to show him love for that. And then also we caught up with Jeremy Adeyanju last week. So just make sure that y'all are tuning into the Dropping Dime show that me and Cam Cox do weekly on the 12 Plus app. Other than that, time to move on, and I will catch up with y'all next week. More cool stuff on the way. More stuff from Beetle in his Beetlejuice segment, and more inside the numbers stuff with my guy Gridiron Arizona. At Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. You guys need anything, holler. Just Chili TV on YouTube and TikTok. I don't TikTok so much, so don't hate me. If y'all got a pair of them BAAs, holler at your boy 10.5. Forks up forever. Y'all know the deal.